Today, I want to share with you some tips on being more optimistic. Maybe you've been told before that you should look on the bright side or you should be more positive. And quite frankly, I think that's not fair because I think some of us are naturally more positive, happy, upbeat people than others. But I also don't want you to get caught up in the idea that your optimism or your attitude is something that you are born with at a fixed point that you cannot change. Because science has demonstrated that that's just not true. We all are born with a baseline attitude, but we can also influence that through a number of things. And so I want to give you some tools today to help you be a more optimistic person. And you may think, well, why? What's the advantage? Why do I care? Well, again, the data shows that people who are more optimistic are healthier, they are happier, they actually recover from illness more quickly and get sick less often. They recover better from surgery. They are more successful. They make better friends more quickly, and they're actually more successful. So those are just a couple of the many reasons why you may want to work on your optimism. So let me give you 3 easy, simple tips that you can apply right now to start becoming a more optimistic person. Number 1, decide. Now, forgive me if that sounds trite or oversimplified, but it's true. The fact is that in order to change any habit that you have, and optimism is a habit, you have to set the intention to develop it, right? You have to make a conscious decision that this is something you want to do. And so if you're going to be a more optimistic person, you need first to just decide that you're going to do that. You need to practice it. You need to wake up every morning and say, today, I'm going to try and be more optimistic. I'm going to try and find the good and not focus on the bad. On the day when I wake up and it's raining, I'm going to be thankful that the plants have water, right? On the days when it's cold, I'm going to be thankful that I have a jacket to wear to keep me warm. And so the more that you can be conscious about it, the quicker the shift is going to happen for you. Number 2, savor your wins. We live in a give it to me now, instant gratification world. And I prove it to you really quickly. When was the last time you went out to buy something? Think about any recent purchase you made. Chances are good that unless it was a major purchase, a car, a house, something like that, that the time between when you decided to make the purchase and when you made the purchase was a very short, right? We are used to the idea that if I want it, I go and get it. Instant gratification. And the problem with that is we've set ourselves up to move on very quickly, right? We set this goal to accomplish this thing or have this thing. We go out, we get it, and then we're on to the next thing. I mean, think of the last time you made a purchase. Maybe it was your last smartphone, for example, and you really wanted this phone. You went out and you got the phone and you brought it back home and you set it all up. How long was it before you were back to baseline happiness, back to where you were before you had the phone? A day? A week? I doubt it was that long. In fact, the research has shown that lottery winners, people who win over $100,000, are back to their baseline happiness within 6 months. Of course, the more money you win, the quicker or the longer that takes. But it doesn't take long. You can win the big Powerball jackpot of several $100 million, and a year from now you will be no happier than you are today. Now, I'm not saying that you should be one of those people, and we've all met them, who are living in the past, right, in the good old days, and all they want to talk about is what they did in high school or 20 years ago. We need to be moving forward, but give yourself time to pause and celebrate your accomplishments. Number 3, reframe challenges. Optimistic people are experts at how to reframe a challenge. If you know my story, you know that at 24 years old, I was told I had less than 2 years to live. And I would love to tell you that I was instantly optimistic about that situation, but I wasn't. It took time, effort, and the support of many people before I was able to reframe that experience. What I was able to do was understand that despite being sick, despite being stuck in a difficult situation, I was hospitalized for 6 months of that time. I had lots of things going right in my life. I had lots of things to be grateful for, lots of things to be positive about. And I can look back now over a decade later and see wonderful opportunities that came from what I thought was the worst obstacle in my life. Now that's an extreme example, but it applies, the principle applies everywhere. How can you reframe a challenge into something that you can be grateful for or optimistic about? The times of greatest challenge and greatest change are also the times of greatest opportunity. More millionaires were created during the Great Depression than any other time in history up until that point. Why? Because the optimistic people were able to reframe the challenge of the economy crashing, the sky is falling, and see opportunities. More recently, in 2007, 2008, we had a major economic downturn. There were also people that made lots of money during that time. Now, yes, there are a variety of factors involved in how that happens, but ultimately it came down to, instead of panicking about what was going wrong, these people were focused on where the opportunities were going to be. Where could they buy stock a lot cheaper today than they could a year ago? What companies were going to survive that they should be investing in? What new needs were arising in the marketplace that didn't exist before? So you can do this in all areas of your life, and the better you get at reframing challenges, the more optimistic you can become. The data has shown that you will live happier, you will live healthier, you will live longer if you're an optimistic person. So I think it's probably worth it for you to start practicing. So decide to do it, savor your wins, and reframe your challenges. Hope that's helpful for you. Share your comments in the section below and let me know if this was helpful for you. I'd love to know if you found this to be something that benefited you, and I'd also encourage you to share this with your friends and people that you think might need it. Till next time, remember, don't live every day like it's your last day, just be alive every day. Hey guys, this is Mark. Thank you for watching that video. Do me a favor, if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Click that subscribe button there you see. And that way you will be instantly notified every time I put out a new video like this. You can also share it on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you hang out, and let your friends know that they can be watching videos on this channel absolutely free as well. And as a thank you for doing that, I want to give you a special gift. I wrote a book a few years ago called Live Life from the Heart, 52 Weeks to a Life of Passion and Purpose. It is a guidebook to help you live a passion-filled life. And I've sold thousands of copies of that book. I still sell it to this day on my website and after events. But I want to give it to you as my personal thank you for having watched this video. All you have to do to get it is click the link you see right there on the screen, and it will bring you to the page where you can download the book for free right now. So go ahead and click the link, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.